You know, some stories, they get under your skin. They're so disturbing that you just can't shake them. Well, today we're diving headfirst into one of those stories. It's about a toy that was anything but child's play. Because, as you're about to find out, the most innocent-looking things can hide the absolute darkest of secrets. So, where does our story begin? Well, like a lot of these tales, it starts with something completely ordinary. A secondhand sale, a teenage boy, and an object that he just couldn't walk away from. Picture this, a grand old house filled with things someone else left behind. And there, a 13-year-old kid named Wilson spots it. A weird, rabbit-like doll, a Labubu art toy. He had no clue why, but he felt this intense, immediate pull. He just had to have it. And you can kind of see why. At first glance, it was charming. It had these glassy blue eyes, golden fur, big rabbit ears, but the main thing was its smile, a wide, painted-on grin. To Wilson, it looked friendly. What he didn't know, what he couldn't possibly know, was that he was bringing home a curse. And that smile, it was about to start getting a whole lot wider, all on its own. So he gets home, puts the doll on his shelf, feels pretty good about his find. Just then, his mom calls him from downstairs. He takes a single step away from the shelf and wham! A heavy metal trophy from the shelf above comes crashing down, right on the spot where his head was just seconds before. This was just the first of many so-called accidents. That near miss, well, that was just the beginning. Soon, other weird things started happening around the house. Light bulbs would just pop, a glass would crack for no reason, and everything seemed to happen right around that doll. Wilson knew he had to find out, where did this thing come from? He went back to that big, now empty house. And wouldn't you know it, there was one person left, a security guard. A guard who knew exactly why the last family to live there had practically run for their lives. The guard laid it all out. That doll, it belonged to the kids who used to live there. And the second it showed up, their whole world fell apart. All four of them got hit with these strange sicknesses. Their money just vanished. And this once happy family, they started fighting all the time, just consumed with rage. The guard even said you could hear this weird laughter in the house. But you know what? The moment that family left and left that doll behind, the laughter stopped. So now Wilson knows this isn't just bad luck, these aren't just accidents, and this is the point in the story where things go from kind of creepy to actively hostile. The thing in the doll, it was just warming up. And then Wilson started to notice it, something that would make your blood run cold. Every day, he swore that the doll's painted smile was getting just a little bit wider. His dad, trying to be the calm, rational parent, promised they'd throw it out in the morning. But this thing, it wasn't gonna wait for morning. That night, a scream rips through the house. Wilson finds his dad in a heap at the bottom of the stairs, badly hurt, and the doll, it's back on his bed, lying right next to his face. The next day, his mom throws it in a trash can outside. But that night, there it is again, inside the house, sitting in a rocking chair. And then came night 3. The rocking chair starts moving, back and forth, all by itself. And then those glassy little eyes turn in their sockets and stare right at him. Okay, so this is it. We've crossed a terrifying line. This is no longer about strange noises or creepy coincidences. This thing has just shown that it's not only evil, it's deadly. Wilson is terrified. He grabs the doll and takes it to school, desperate to get it away from his home. His best friend, Chris, sees it and starts laughing, picking it up. Wilson pleads with him, "Don't touch it, stay away." But Chris just mocks him. "Ooh, Wilson and his scary doll." And right as Chris is holding that doll, making fun of it, a baseball from a game way across the field suddenly changes direction. It comes flying like a white missile aimed right for him. The ball hits him so hard, it knocks him off his feet. He stumbles backward and falls, and his head lands directly on a huge shark nail that was sticking straight up out of the ground on the playground. He died instantly. Everyone called it a freak accident, a 1 in a million tragedy. But Wilson knew. Oh, he knew. This wasn't an accident. This was a message. At this point, Wilson is absolutely convinced. This doll is an anchor for something demonic. He knows he has to destroy it for good. But as you can probably guess, an evil like this doesn't go down that easy.
That very same day, Wilson takes the doll, cuts it into little pieces, and burns it all to ash. He watches it burn. He thinks, finally, it's over. But when he walks into his room that night, there it is, perfectly whole, sitting on his bed. And this time, he can hear it. A faint, horrible, mocking laugh coming from inside it.
The next morning, his parents find bite marks all over his body. That's it. They are done trying to rationalize this. They call a priest. The priest walks in, takes one look at that doll, and he gives them a name for what they're up against. He says, this isn't a ghost. This is a powerful evil entity, a demonic spirit that has latched onto this object. The priest tells them to get out of the house now. He explains you can't destroy something like this, you can only contain it. So he performs a sacred ritual right there over the doll, seals it inside a heavy, solid iron box, and takes it to be buried deep in the ground, right near the house where this whole nightmare started. And for a second, it feels like it's finally over. The family thinks maybe, just maybe, they're safe. But the entity, it was going to have the last word. The very next day, they get a phone call. The priest, the man who buried the doll, was killed. A sudden, violent car crash. And that was it. That was the last straw. Wilson and his parents packed up and fled the city. They never went back. And the Labubu doll, it never physically showed up again. But the curse found another way to stay with him. To this day, the story goes, he is haunted every single night. He closes his eyes and he sees it. Those glassy eyes and that terrible, widening smile. They managed to contain the object, sure. But the fear, the trauma, that lives on. And it really leaves you with one final terrifying question. The doll was buried, but can you ever truly bury evil?